Good soldiers follow orders.
Hello and welcome to the Baddest Batch, not a podcast episode. I am one of your hosts, Tivy, and I am joined with Tebow and Clint. Gentlemen, how are we?
Doing good. Good spirits.
Excellent.
What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans?
We are here today to do probably my most excited for activity.
Anticipated, you would say? Most anticipated?
Most anticipated?
For sure,
Probably
yeah.
a better word.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I feel like I had this conversation with you both in like the first time we ever talked about doing this content creation. We just got to do one. But we started this obviously mid-set 3. But today we are going to, and if you can't tell based on what Tebow has set up for us, we are going to be ranking the set 4 jump to lightspeed leaders in a tier
It's
list.
Tier List Tuesday.
Yep.
Tier list Tuesday.
No more tacos on Tuesdays. It's just tier list now.
Tier list Tuesdays.
So we're going to rank from S to E. Obviously, for the ones who are not familiar with tier list, S is the best tier. E is the worst tier. We're going to try to rank those in terms of playability, both in constructed and limited. So draft and sealed. Obviously, we're going to make some mistakes for sure, and that's what's fun about it. Obviously, these are opinions, and if you don't agree, let us know in the comments. We'll be happy to debate with you guys and tell you guys why you're wrong.
Let's call it now. Who's going to get it wrong the most?
It's me.
It's you reckon?
I think so.
I feel like I'm a terrible evaluator of cards, so I don't know. I think it's going to be me.
No,
I won't object to that. I won't object to that.
No, you know what? You know a good aggro though.
I know a good aggro,
Yeah.
You do know everything is the
so I know
scale of
Sabine.
Sabine. Now look.
All right, let's get stuck in.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
So, I will be sharing the letters on the screen. Firstly,
We have our
firstly we
amazing
have-
whiteboards is what we're
Yeah.
going to be doing. So everyone knows we're gonna
grade.
grade them. We're gonna write them to ourselves, and we're gonna reveal. And we're gonna see if we agree, if we don't, and talk it out. Then we'll.
Okay.
Who of us is the boomer here?
It's you.
Post-its? Really? How long did you have to prepare for this?
We're buying cameras, we're buying light diffusers, and we can't have a whiteboard.
I downloaded a whiteboard app on my goddamn iPad.
There's nothing more reliable than pen to paper.
All right, Boomer.
All right,
Let's go.
first we have Assaj Ventress. Action, you can tap this unit, deal 1 damage to a friendly unit. If you do, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit in the same arena. She's a 4/6. She's a 6 cost leader, flips on 6. 4/6 with grit as a unit, or she's a 3/4 upgrade, which attaches to any vehicle and gains basically the same ability that she has on her leader side, except that it becomes on attack. So on attack, deal damage to a friendly unit, including yourself potentially. If you do, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit, and this unit has grit. You guys wanna have a go?
I mean, it's why we're here. One and a 2 and 2, 3.
All right, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Flip them.
Oh, that's
Oh.
nice. I like.
Off the bat.
I
all right.
like. B, C, D. Okay, so we have TV ranked the highest at B, me the lowest at D, and Clint in the middle. I guess you can go ahead, TV, a little bit. Well, if we don't agree, we'll debate a little bit. If we agree, it'll be way quicker. B?
Look, I don't think it's terrible, and I don't think it's going to be bad in draft.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's the first one, and we know some of the other leaders, and I'm going to try not to compare them too much now, but like, the ability is free. So,
Kinda, yeah.
you know, do a damage to yourself, and if you do, like, obviously you're building around a grid deck.
Yeah.
We know that. But she's a decent body on the field. What'd she come out again? Was
6.
it 5 or 6? Look, I know Clint hates that.
To me, that's why she's in D. To me.
I would argue that's maybe why I thought she was 5 for a second, and maybe that's why I've screwed up. So maybe she is a C. She's not a D. She's definitely not a D.
Yeah, it's
So-
go ahead, Clint.
I was going to say, like, her stats don't match her cost. Like, she's a little weak
Understated, right?
for her cost, considering that she needs to do damage to herself as well. So she's not going to be super duper sticky, especially when she comes out at 6.
But also,
And like, I mean, a pinging ability is always good, but meh, she needs another point of health at that cost.
Yeah.
But also, she can ping the unit that you're going to attach her to.
Sure.
Yeah.
And do it so she can do it before she deploys, and then do it on attack.
It's potentially
So
2
you
points
can
of
add more.
grid, and maybe you've killed something in the meantime because you've pinged twice. I think obviously in the red deck you have a lot of grid units and you have a lot of like removal. You know, like
And in
the
blue,
grenade
like-
strike in blue, like disruptive burst and stuff like that. Maybe that helps if you manage to clean the board. But those ping decks usually, like if you look at Mace, for example, they're not amazing, right? They're just the pinging is so slow. Like you ping a little bit by a little bit. In the meantime, your opponent goes to base. Maybe in a Tarkin Town deck, maybe.
But you're only pinging the opponent if you're able to ping
Yes,
one of your own,
which is tough.
And I mean, I'm probably brain blocked there because I genuinely thought she came out at 5, and that's probably why I went B. I think C is probably where she sits because she comes out at 6. If she came out at 5, I think she might be a bit better.
Yeah, that Clint said a 4/6 at 6 cost. She's understated compared to what we got. Anakin is a 4/7 and usually comes out as a 7/7, right? Even Luke Skywalker is a 4/7.
Yeah, and a 3/4 unit at 6, upgraded at 6. I don't know.
Obi's a
And she's
4/6
doing the
as well,
damage
right?
to herself.
Obi's a
Like-
4/7.
Yeah, like she should almost be a 7 because she is doing damage.
I think the reason
Sure,
why
sure.
some of these are a little bit understated, I think we're gonna find, like on the flip, is because they can also be attached as a pilot. So you're paying for the versatility. I think she can't be as good as all the other 6 cost leaders on the field if she can also be an upgrade, because you have that aspect of versatility. So I think we're gonna see that a little bit. I'm happy with C. Luke will again. Constructed will be interesting. Sorry, not constructed. You said draft. Draft, she's interesting because she's easy to use, but I don't know if there's a lot of grid unit in this set.
Yeah, that's a
gonna
good
be
point.
key.
I haven't seen a lot of them.
I really haven't. I'm sure there are some, but I haven't seen a ton of them. So, yeah, I wonder how well that's going to work. Next one.
Bring it up.
Okay. Grand Admiral Thrawn. When you use a when defeated ability, you may exhaust this leader if you do use that ability again. He flips on 6, so another 6 cost leader. He's a 4/7 this time, so obviously a little bit better, but can't be a pilot. And same ability on the other side. It's when you use a when defeated ability, you can use it again only once per round.
Do we need much deliberation on this one?
Not for me.
Not
Ready?
for me either. Go on.
Oh yeah! Bow, bow, bow. Yeah, you would. Ah, God.
What do you think, Clint, stops it from being S?
Can it beat Sabine?
Okay. I understand.
I like his rational though, as always.
It like I do, but if you think you're building a control deck around this,
It's a mid-range deck.
yeah, look, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
I just don't think it's fast enough to beat Sabine.
And I don't. It's interesting. Like, so I tried it a little bit. Obviously, TV, you've tried it a little bit as well. Tried it online. I tried it on Full Stable a little bit. Man, Krennic allows you to do some cool stuff. In my version, I think I played a bit more of an aggressive version than TV. My Krennic allows me to put some one-cost units, like the OM officer, and there's another. There's a new trooper, a new stormtrooper.
the first order stormtrooper.
The first order stormtrooper. I'm pretty sure.
Play for free.
So I played him for free. So maybe that's where it allows you to keep up with Sabine a little bit, because now you have 2 units. Maybe you can control the ball a little bit more. I think if you manage to find some healing, maybe it's top target, maybe it's Charlton and things like that, which helps you against Sabine. But yeah, it might me.
Because even the first order, like on the flip turn, it's a 2/1 from memory, and it's when defeated, deal indirect
Yes.
damage.
On
it's on attack and when defeated.
Yes, correct.
So
you could potentially do 3 in one turn because you would do the one attack, the one defeated twice. Obviously, the opponent can take it to base, but it kind of adds up.
Look, it's a little bit of a narrow viewpoint. Like,
Can it
can
beat
it beat
Sabine or
Sabine?
not?
I think it's like, can it beat Sabine and Han? Like, because obviously Sabine can beat Han, but it's very difficult for it to beat Han. But they're both S tier.
Yeah.
Thrawn, I think, if it can have a good matchup into the majority of whatever the meta kind of stabilizes to be, then sure, S tier. But I think at the moment, I think it's too early to put it in S tier and say that it's going to consistently beat Han and Sabine.
Yeah,
I think you can build this very control-y as well, though.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing, like in a harder control deck, and especially like I've found, like I used to like obviously I ran Palp blue for the first 2 sets, and then I didn't have too much of a problem with a lot of matchups, but obviously DJ kind of ruins your life because you're so late.
Yep.
In this, not like with a 6-cost leader, not always as much, and I mean you got to play around it a lot. It's not a guarantee. But I think you have options to be able to negate some of those things, and you're not constantly fighting on the back pedal.
I think what's interesting, it's very similarly to set 1 Thrawn. You don't need Thrawn to come out. Like his ability, like you use it once a turn, like when he's on leader side. Anyway, like it's almost good enough. Like obviously he comes out as a 4/7. You can potentially have done when defeated ability when he was on leader, and then you put him as a unit and do it again. So like there's a bunch of stuff that can happen, especially with the Chimera. So
and Krennic's so it's presupposing because like he's a 2/2 shielded, so he's gonna stay for at least a little bit most of the time, especially if you get him on the first turn. And if he's not dealt with, like you're playing Ruthless Raider for 5.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how this guy isn't a legendary.
Or even a rare.
Uncommon.
So I think a lot of the rarity, something that we miss sometimes, it's because of draft purposes.
For draft, yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah,
I get it.
but
I get it. But if we're looking at traditional TCGs that aren't built around draft, this guy would 100% be like a legendary or a mythic or whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Or a enchanted.
For your favorite game?
For my favorite game to diss.
I'll put him as S right now because he's 2-1, but we'll see.
Look, I mean, if we're going to leave him there, it'll be at the lower end of S.
Yeah, we can see. I'm happy to rearrange as well as we go through.
Yeah.
I'm super happy to rearrange. Next we have Mr. Calrissian.
It's be easy.
Action for 1. You pay 1, you flip this later, you play a unit from your hand, paying its cost. If you do, and you control a ground unit and a space unit, both, give a shield token to a unit. He's a 7-cost 5/7 Sentinel, but you can also put him as a 5/5 upgrade as a pilot, and I'm pretty sure you give a what is it again? You give a shield token to
another
just in another arena.
In another arena.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Okay, hold on. Let me just wipe my whiteboard for this exercise.
Oh, that's what we're waiting on you to do each time.
What do you mean? There you go. Just yeah. E. There you go.
Terrible.
Easy E.
Yeah. There's not much to say, right? It cost 1.
Cost 1, garbage. Conditional, 2 conditional, garbage.
Comes out at 7. Garbage.
What would they?
You come out at 7. You wanna be a lot better than that.
You want to be a hammer.
God,
Dooku comes out at 7.
He's a 5/9.
He's a 5/9, and his ability costs nothing, and it gives Separatist units exploit 1. Sure, that's conditional, but like giving Separatists and exploit stacks.
I think it's
7.
more. I think it's more on his flip.
If you thought blue leaders got shafted last set,
yeah, it's
jumped to Lightspeed, went hold my beer.
I don't even have some cards to show up to support his. I have nothing for him. I can't.
Okay, one.
That's a lot of stuttering for you trying to defend him.
The one mild saving grace is that it's not like
Nice.
trait. It's not trait dependent, which we will talk about why I don't like it as we get to
No,
some of the other leaders.
it's awful. It's
At least there's that, but like it's a terrible ability.
So it costs 1. It's
Costs 1?
It's way
Ugh.
worse than everything
Get out.
that Luke can do.
Get him out of here.
All right. Rose Tico. Action, heal 2 damage from a vehicle unit that attacked this phase. And she's a 5 cost 4/6. Good body. And same thing on attack. She can heal a vehicle unit for 2. I mean... Okay. Good.
Good.
Oh, I like that with Plus TV. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's super great, but I think it's got potential, right?
The more
Fine for draft.
the more I look at our tier lists, and I wonder if she's not better than Assaj. Same body for less cost. No versatility because she doesn't touch the pilot. She shouldn't be. She's a mechanic. If you build a vehicle deck like healing 2, like it allows you to trade with confidence.
Yeah.
Or at least like you go in knowing, okay, I'm just going to heal 2. You go in,
Okay.
you're going to heal 2. I don't know.
The only way that this is good is if you've got a piloted space unit or piloted vehicle, because most vehicles are going to die when they trade. Like, because most of the time they're like 2 or 3 health.
The ships, sure, but like some of the ground vehicles, like you
Yeah.
got those, the Sentinels that came out this set, they're like 5/5s.
You can see Puss at the back.
Like I see what you're saying. I think.
Oh, hello.
What about where? Okay, might strike a nerve here, Clint. Where do you put if you were to put Obi? Where would you put Obi?
Obi's like
S.
C.
C.
Yeah. C to B.
She's
So
Top of C,
Same-
bottom of B.
she's better.
Same
than
stat line. Oh, 1 less health, 4/6. Comes out 1 earlier and can heal 2, but
Not
it's
a
on a
Sentinel,
vehicle.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Not a
but
Sentinel.
But Obi also has the 4 trait, which is very relevant.
And
Sure.
slightly different because the vehicle had to have attacked this phase. OB is unconditional. You heal 1 whenever. So he's
Oh,
healed.
that attack this phase. Yeah,
yeah.
good point.
That's
yeah.
why I was talking about the trading. You can trade knowing, okay, I'm gonna go, I'll heal. The thing is, when you have a lot of vehicles, like you take like a Razor Crest, it's a 3/4. It doesn't die to a lot of stuff. You
Yeah.
can restore 2. You go kill something, you heal 2. Think of a Mandalorian Interceptor that you have to go into it. So a lot of times, I don't attack with my Interceptor. I just leave him as a shield. But all of a sudden,
Yeah.
if me going 1
Swing
to
into base
base
for 1.
means I can heal him afterwards.
Yeah.
I just need to look at how many ground vehicle there are. But I think when we get to a point where there are a few, she could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Scott will play it.
Scott will play it. Scott will play this with Finn in Twin Suns.
What do we think?
If he doesn't, he's a coward.
Do we think D? Because
We fight for what we love.
this kind of pains me watching Assaj being better than her almost. I get it. She's a bit easier to use. But I don't know.
I think her ability's just better than Rose's, despite the fact that she comes
Only
out on
slightly.
6. Yeah.
All right, next. Mr. Piett. We're going to call him Pete. P-E-T-E.
Yet.
No, I'm going to call him Pete.
The man who has about 4 words and
Got a paycheck, though. Ready?
It's an old code, but it checks out.
You're going to like this.
No, I'm not ready. I'm ready now.
Okay, go. Oh, okay.
Just solid agreement amongst the
Okay.
boys.
Yeah, just good, man. Like, good capital ships. His ability, you can play it all the time.
Look, I'll be honest. I've just forgot to write the plus, but I think he is A plus.
To me, I think his early game is what's gonna hurt you. Like, depending on how the deck is built, because obviously you're not using his ability for the first 5 resource turn, right?
no, you're probably gonna have to ramp.
Yeah, you're gonna have to rep.
You definitely ramp, but like I mean, Green's got some good sentinels, got some good officials.
Actually, There is a three
ramping
cost
ship.
capital ship,
Really?
Is that?
Outlaw Corona or something like that.
Oh, the bounty one.
Yeah, I think that's a capital ship.
That's
for
a
some
3
reason.
cost 3/5 with a bounty.
Which
Yeah.
allows your
that
opponent to
one?
ramp. Is it a capital
Yeah.
ship?
But it is a capital ship
But it is a capital ship and a 3/5 body.
for 3.
What is it called again?
Does it cost
Yeah,
3?
Outlaw Corona 335. It's underworld vehicle capital ship. Why is this a capital ship? It's
I
underworld.
have no idea why it's a capital ship, but
So I guess you can use him to play that for 2. If you play that for 2, it's nasty.
Pretty good.
God. Yeah, maybe he's A+.
Like, I mean, he's already in green, so like you're gonna get that
You're
ramp.
gonna get some innate
like,
ramp.
in those the first couple of turns. You're doing the same thing that most green, black, and blue things do, which is, you know, play something little on your first turn. Maybe it's this now, that Outlaw Corona. But then you're playing a super laser tech. You're playing resupply.
What's the name of
I play
the
Yularen.
green one?
And you can use
The resupply carrier is really good. So resupply
can
carrier is
use-
6 cost for
Yep.
it's a 4/5. When played, you may put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. So you're playing for 5 realistically, which allows you to ramp. Yeah, that can be nasty. The resupply carrier. That's a ×3 in the Piett deck.
and your first.
what are you playing
turn-
this? Red or blue?
I think blue.
Blue.
I think.
You don't want Ruthless Raider,
I think you prefer Avenger.
or you'd rather Avenger?
Prefer,
I think-
prefer Avenger.
Because if you've ramped, yeah, you can get Avenger on resource 6 potentially. You know, you bring him out, you tap like he's
You can bring him
100%
out.
be an aggro deck.
yeah. I'm interested to know how he would do against aggro decks. That's my only thing. But I'm very happy to put him at A. I think his early game is my big question mark, but the rest is
I see. To me, it's not. I think it's exactly the same as what your other green blue. Like if you play it in green blue, it's what all your other ones are.
yeah.
But you're bringing other things like the Piett unit in, which lets you play with all your anything that costs
6 more.
is it 6
As
or
ambush.
more. Have ambush.
yeah. He's gonna be good.
Play it
But
with some
you
royal
don't
guards.
you don't really leave that on the board though. That's a 1/4. That's getting killed.
Yeah, but if you play a royal guard, there's a sentinel out there. You've got your
It's a lot of ifs.
dark phase trooper, which is a 3/3 sentinel. So
Yeah,
like this stuff.
he's gonna be good. I'm actually really looking forward to playing him, so it'll be nice.
Need the showcase of him and Thrawn.
Next we got Darth Vader. Action, tap him if you're attacked with a non-token vehicle unit this phase. Create a TIE Fighter token. Reminder the TIE Fighter tokens are 1/1s. And on the flip side, he is a 5/6 vanilla 6 cost, or he attaches as a 5/5 unit. Let me just pull him up. And he creates 2 fighter tokens. When deployed as an upgrade, create 2 TIE Fighter tokens.
Bum bum bum. Gotta wait for Tipo to wipe his board because
No, it's okay, I'm good. Well, I do a lot of stuff on the back end, if I
Whoop.
may. Ooh, BBC.
I thought the very high range of C. Again, I just forgot to put a plus.
No, can you just lock in, please?
Love a good BBC rating.
I'm just gonna pull up his three units that kind of go with him. So why you got CTV and both of us had B, right?
C plus. Like I mean, he's probably gonna end up being the lower end of B, higher end of C.
So interesting with those. So these are the 3 units that are kind of designed to work with him, right? The 2 wingmen, Victor, pilots. One of them, when played as an upgrade, you create a TIE Fighter token. The other one, you may give an experience token to another unit when played as an upgrade. So obviously you can buff up your ships a little bit. The Victor leader, each other friendly space unit gets +1/+1. So obviously you
And then
beef up.
don't forget about the new Vader legend as well.
Let's see if I can pull
Mm,
it up. What color is he?
he's
He's-
red black.
He's red, is he?
His is he's a 7/7 on the ground. He's piloting 3.
Well,
Attached unit gains on attack. You may deal 1 damage to a unit. If a unit is defeated this way, you may deal 1 damage to a unit or base, and he's a 3/3. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think. Yeah, high C, B, D issues.
6 cost for a 7/7 on the ground. Ooh.
6 cost for a 7/7. Oh, you're talking about.
He's going to enable a lot of swarm strategies. I actually might be interested in playing him just for that fact, but it's not something that I would consider main decking though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting if you play like a little bit of an exploit strategy as well around him, because he's creating so many of these tokens. We know, like, obviously if you can exploit some big stuff, because you don't really care about your little weenies, your 1/1s. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting, especially because you have some stuff in green that allows you to explode a little bit. Maybe red. You'd play him.
It would have to be
blue.
red.
I think red. Nah. I don't think blue. I think red's where it's at.
Blue, you'd have to go a little bit more mid-rangey control-y.
Yeah.
And then you just overwhelm with swarm once you deploy Vader. But
Potentially yellow.
I think you just go red.
I
Interesting.
think red's a good color for it. I mean, you get access to
The unit. Look at that. We have an even spread. Oh,
Wow.
Wild.
lovely. Okay, next. TV's favorite, Admiral Holdo.
My response right now.
She's a 6 cost 3/8. Her leader action, you pay 1, you exhaust, you give a resistance unit or a unit with a resistance upgrade on it, +2/+2 for this phase. And I think she does the same thing on her unit side, except just for on attack. Ha! Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
I gave Holdo the D.
I was gonna say it's just because he doesn't think anything is as bad as Lando. Look,
I think this has the potential in later sets when there are more resistance cards. My main beef, I think I've said it before, costs 1, which it shouldn't. And well, it probably should because it's not a bad ability.
it's good.
But she's just a worse Wat Tambor because you have to place it on a resistance unit. And there's not enough resistance units and cards, upgrades, and all that shit out there for this to be like consistent enough. I don't think.
I had her. We talked about it a couple of days ago. I thought she was really good until TV made me realize yes, there is not a lot of resistance to it. Now,
But I mean, she flips on 6, which I mean I already hate anyway.
3/8.
But she has 8 health.
She'll be tough to kill.
Yeah.
Oh,
She enables a lot. So, yeah, again, if there's more resistance units,
I think
might
I'm.
be pretty good.
there's room to grow with this.
Yeah.
I feel.
Which I think is why I'm gonna put her D instead of E.
Okay.
Just for the put, like you even said, when there's more resistance, she's gonna be dangerous, and I think she could be really, really good when you have more resistance. I'm gonna put her at the lower end of D.
I think she's definitely there. And I think that's the only caveat to it. If we're just plain taking this set and nothing else into account, I think she's an E. But like, I think there is still room to grow for her, assuming that there's more resistance cards that come out.
But if we only take this set into account, then we have to disregard the
moment-
Sabine and the Han and stuff like that as well. Like,
Yeah. At the moment, you're kind of like, you have to play her in red because I think that's the only other color. Like you got your Poes and your black ones to get more resistance cards. So you kind of, I don't know that. Yeah. If I'm gonna play green red, I'd rather just play Anakin green.
Next, I have Wedge, which for action you exhaust, you can play a card from your hand using piloting. It costs 1 less. What's his? Let me just get his. Same thing.
Yeah, he's a 3/6 on the ground. Attached unit is a leader. When he pilots, attached unit is a leader unit. It gains on attack. The next pilot card you play this phase costs 1 less, and it's a 3/4.
3/6 for 5.
Oh.
Ready? Well,
No.
TV's not. Well, I have this. Oh yeah, B's all around. I think he's better than Vader, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Easy. I don't think he's Piett level. I'll call him Piett. I don't think he's Piet's level, but he's better than Vader. Again, it depends. We're not sure how good the pilots are going to be. Like Clint has been saying it a lot. It's like he's unsure how good the pilots are going to be, the pilot upgrades. But it sounds easy to use. I'll put him there.
Yeah, he's definitely on the higher side of B. Definitely higher than Vader, I think.
My 2 cents. Can't really play him with ECL. So why would you play him? If people aren't going to play Leia, why would they play Wedge? Because you can't really play with ECL. And they're both rebels.
You're a simple man.
I mean, it's simple, man, but it's a simple truth.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go double green.
How well did that work out for Leia?
Depends how many green pilots there are.
No.
I would rather play Leia over Wedge.
Fair.
Okay.
March next year, you won't have that option.
No, I know.
No,
What are you doing?
Yeah. What body is he again? Is it 3.6 or 5?
3.6.
Not bad. We'll see. Might be good as an upgrade.
I think it's gonna be great in draft.
Ooh, yes. If you can stack a lot of pilots, which you should, because there's a million of them.
Should be heaps.
Might be really good.
Draft and sealed.
Yeah.
Good time. I think a good time.
Boba Fett. When you deal non-combat damage, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 indirect damage to a player.
And on his flip side, he's a 4/7. Comes out at 6, which is what the original Boba Fett should have been in the first place. If you pilot him, you can attach, when deployed as an upgrade, deal up to 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of units, and he is a 4/4.
Oh, I have this. Did you forget to wipe your ball, TV?
Oh, sorry.
B, no, you're fine.
B.
Okay, B. I have an A-. These gentlemen have a B. I like him better than
One,
Wedge.
I don't think we know how good indirect damage is going to be.
Yeah.
2, he's a 6-cost leader, but he does, when he flips, I guess he does like a mini overwhelming barrage.
Yeah.
But at
As an
6,
upgrade.
is that really that good at 6? Either against aggro's either already won, and in burst control, it's like, well, they've probably got no units on the board anyway. So
Yeah. I'm interested to see how the thinking that indirect damage can ensues in players, like thinking, okay, I'm playing against Boba, let's think Boba Green, right? Okay, how much indirect damage can I allow going on my units if he has an overwhelming barrage, if he has those red removal? The green has some decent removal as well. I'm curious as to how much as players will like, okay, I'll just take it to base. I don't want my units to... I'll take it to base. I don't know. Maybe we'll just go, unit, and then in one turn he can wipe your whole board and you're having a bad time. I think it's going to be a different thinking mechanic. It's going to take a while for us to adapt to this.
there's going to be a lot of maths involved for your opponent. And if your opponent isn't very good at maths, Boba's going to be very good.
You're fucked.
And I think for you doing it... Oh, sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, if you have a go wide deck, this deck is instantly worse. Like, against any go wide deck.
Well,
I don't think he's...
Go ahead.
I don't think he's the top of B.
Oh, sorry. He's better than
Vader, but I don't think he's as good as Wedge, personally.
I don't know. I reckon I put Vader better than him, but it's 6 of 1 and half a dozen.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it also depends on the amount of it. So, like, having played only a couple of games using that planetary bombardment card and having capital ships out, and I was forcing Blake to do 12 indirect damage. And there were a couple of times where he had multiple units out and he was sort of spreading it around, keeping everything to sort of just be on like 1 or 2 health remaining. And then dumping the rest on the base. And I mean, I think it's a bigger scale. You know, sometimes if they've got no units, all of a sudden it's 12 damage to base with one card, 1 6-cost card. if they can't afford that damage to base, then they're going to get rid of units. I think it, I liked the card because it was like, oh shit, 12 indirect damage because I've got a capital ship out. But having the opponent choose where it goes, you're relying on where your opponent's going to put it, and you have to have a contingency for your plans if they don't put it where you think they're going to put it.
I think it's going to be interesting how much you, as a Boba player, you're going to have to manage. Okay, right now I want it to go to base, so I'm killing the units first, and then I'm forcing him to go to base. Or how aggressive you're going to have to be to put damage on base to put him in a position, well, I can't put this damage on my base, it has to go on my unit. Like similar to what a Django does, right? Django can be quite explosive and pull a lot of damage. If you can do something very similar in the yellow, and forcing your opponent to kill his own board because he can't take any more damage to base, it'll be interesting. But I'll put him at the B. That's
Look,
fine.
what I will say though is that indirect damage in Destiny wasn't like a very popular mechanic because of your opponent being able to choose it. It was a little worse in Destiny because you could throw it all into a shield. Here you can't, so it might be a little bit better. But I don't think it'll be a super popular mechanic.
No. But find out soon. Next I have Captain Phasma, the Silver Surfer. Action, if you play the first order card this phase, deal 1 damage to a base, and it's on her leader side, it's to a base and to a unit, right? If you play the first order unit.
Yeah, on attack, if you play another first order card this phase, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. If you do, deal 1 damage to a base, which comes out as a 4/6.
Cool. Ready?
I'm a little bit.
You're torn, huh?
I am.
She's 5 costs.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Okay. C minus. C. I gotta B. I think she's really good. I just think the lack of first order units was gonna hurt her.
Yeah.
I think she's good as well.
I'm outvoted anyway, so.
But you're right about first order units. And then also because of the next leader that we're going to look at.
Oh, yeah. Is she better or worse than...
I think you... Why would you not play him over her?
Yeah, I don't have Von Reg in my bloody thing. I don't have Von Reg.
Down the bottom.
Yeah, no, I have it on here. I just don't have it on the... He's not on the official card database. Go figure. You have MTV?
I do.
Go ahead.
So action, just exhaust the leader. Play a vehicle unit from your hand, paying its cost. If you do, give another unit +1, +0 for this phase. If you control 4 or more resources, you can deploy him as a leader or as a pilot. And on his flip side, he is a 2/5 on the ground. And as a pilot, attached becomes a leader unit. On attack, you may give another unit in this arena +1, +0 for this phase, and he is a 3/3.
And if it wasn't clear, we're talking about Von Reg.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Good?
Ready?
No, TV's not. I didn't see him right. Go. Okay. So I did tell you guys at the start, I think I was going to be the most wrong. It's going to be very interesting because we're not on the same page. You two are on the same page a lot of times, and I'm not. So either I'm going to be wrong all the time. Oh, balloons. Either I'm going to be wrong all the time, or I'm going to be wrong all the time. It's going to be real awkward in a couple of weeks.
So, same deal as Phasma. Not enough first order units, even though he does have a bomb-ass ship.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't rely on first order.
His vehicles.
But he's got a vehicle that he can attach to, like a signature. He's got a signature card, which
but
it's just Von Reg's.
His thing can trigger as long as you play a vehicle. There's heaps.
No. Yeah. But he also has a vehicle he can attach to, which will basically have him swinging for 7.
And
Von Reg's TIE Fighter or whatever.
God.
Who put him as a C?
Didn't you? Oh no, you put it as a B.
I put him as B.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, not enough synergistic cards for him. And why would you not play Sabine over him?
Because he's villain. If you want to play villain, he's the best aggro option in villain.
100%.
Well, with Kylo.
But I don't think it's going to be like better than Sabine. I will play him. I will definitely play him.
I got outvoted.
But I don't think he's going to be better than Sabine.
He's on B. Where do you guys want him?
I think he's probably upper B.
Yeah,
But
definitely better than Boba. I'm not 100% sure about better than Wedge.
I'd say better than Wedge, but just my opinion.
Like maybe I think he's got more versatility. Like he's probably going to be because I think you're right because I think Von Reg is going to be good. I don't think he's going to be bad. He's going to be good in constructed and in draft. Whereas I kind of feel at the moment Wedge is probably going to shine a bit more in draft than he does in constructed.
Again, I know it's a simple thing. You can play him with ECL.
Yeah,
and he does have some good ECL targets as well. In the green Phasma and the Kylo.
I'd be interested to see if the Imperial Interceptor makes a bit of a comeback with him.
What was that, sorry?
I'd be interested to see if the Imperial Interceptor makes a bit of a comeback with him. Like the 3-2, you deal 3 damage, then you're going to give +1 to units. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good point because he's more flexible as well because it's only a vehicle. It's not a first order unit.
So he's way better than Phasma.
I think I think as well, like, what we're probably not giving a bit of credit for is he has. I kind of think he does have the potential to be as good as Sabine in terms of stat line, because he's the same stats, and I mean the ability. Like, she's only got the ping ability. It's not like her ability is the most amazing thing ever. Just she comes out at 4, and we've also had a pretty established meta around her. And I think that's what we probably don't. Obviously, we don't have the context for because it's not out yet. We haven't played it, but I think he probably has the capacity to be a lot better, or not better, but almost as good as Sabine. Just depends.
I think he's space Sabine.
Around him.
Yeah,
he's space Sabine. So you're right. He could be as good as Sabine. Sabine is going to morph into a ground-based deck, like it already kind of was, but I think it's going to be more so of a ground-based deck, where this will be a space deck predominantly. So it's just space Sabine with ECL.
Yeah. I think and I think you made this point when we've talked about it before, Clint, is in the red, black, and even in whatever color you might pair it with. If you pair it with green ECL, there's no Poe or Wrecker substitute at 5 and 6 in villainy, and that is probably the key difference.
You can ECL Ruthless Raider.
You can ECL a Ruthless Raider, and that's awesome.
That's awesome.
But an ECL is not a Wrecker, and it's not a Poe.
I don't think it's even the Poe thing, because I think it's just more the Wrecker thing.
Yeah, Wrecker's nightmare.
Like being able to deal 5 damage to something and then overwhelm. I mean, you're still not getting that from Kylo.
Ground, you can ECL a Darth Maul. It's not as impactful, but it's not a bad ECL target.
The only downside to that is that it's 7, and I don't know if you're going to want to go into 7.
No, he means the red Maul.
The Darth Maul. Yeah. Sorry, gotcha.
That's not bad because that can ECL into 2 targets.
That can control the ground in the meantime. I'm excited to build him. I'm excited.
I think what you want is just a really bomb, like 5 or 6 drop unit to ECL with Von Reg in space.
Is anyone shocked that we love this game?
I'm excited.
It is. I remember, like, sometimes we talk about this stuff. Like, I think we were talking about it when we were talking about how many like boxes and stuff we were going to buy. We're just like, probably not going to get like heaps into like the carbonites because ships aren't really my thing. And then I was talking about, I think it was like Legends of the Force, and I'm like, Force characters and stuff, Jedi's and Sith. Just take all the money that I am going to have in June, July when this shit comes out. But like, as we talk more about this, I can't wait. I'm so excited for this set.
And the art of this set is phenomenal. I will say that. We'll move on, but the art of this set, they've outdone themselves. One of the German cards that came out today, like the one with the Vader.
I haven't even looked at them.
Oh my god!
I mean, I couldn't read them.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know the one you're talking about. All my days.
Okay, we'll move on before we get distracted. Luke Skywalker. Action: if you attacked with a fighter unit this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. Pretty simple. Well, as long as you got enough fighters. 6 cost flip is a 5/6, or he attaches as a 4/5 upgrade. He's vanilla when he flips as a unit, right? Otherwise
5/6 vanilla. Attached unit is a leader unit. If it's a fighter, can't be defeated by enemy card abilities. This upgrade, so that's good. Attached unit. If it's a fighter, it gains on attack. You may deal 3 damage to a unit, and it's a 4/5 attachment. Do you know what can I just before we show this one? I'm actually a little bit. I feel like after the conversation about Von Reg, I feel like I've convinced myself that he probably is A.
Right. Thank you.
I think
He's back. He's back on A.
Yeah, put him up to A. 100%.
I had him on A.
Yeah,
so
you're
now
right.
it's 2 A's. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 A's. I convinced myself mid-conversation.
He's way better than Wedge.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We in sync.
Balance is perfect. Okay, B plus, B minus. So it's gonna be B somewhere here. I love his thing, the fact that he can't be killed as an upgrade. Yada yada yada. His ability with the fighters, I think, is lame. Like,
look, I mean, all I'll say is that we've obviously seen what ping decks can do and how dominant they have been in this set in Twilight.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you're going to have a dominant ping deck with him is with Tarkentown, but maybe
you're not gonna play him double red.
there's an aggressive double red Luke deck. Look, I don't know. My stonks in him have gone up a little bit, but not much. It's still the 6 cost for me.
I think it'll be interesting if you can find a way to create enough fighter tokens, which gives you like an infinite way of having this +1. I think that's probably the way that I'd go.
I just hate it how Grid is the aggression color, and then they go and cost these aggressive units at 6.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's also their stat line though, like a 5/6.
I get it, but
yeah, I mean, you're right.
You're not playing this aggressively. You're playing it more mid-rangey at 6.
Like a Cat Bane type of thing.
Yeah.
We'll leave him here. I think he's slightly better than Boba, probably.
I think he's better than Boba. I mean, the fact that he can't be defeated, and I mean, you avoid it brings it back to because I think we said when we first started seeing these pilot things, we were like, oh, upgrade hate's gonna shoot through the roof because he confiscates the Mando one that I always forget the name of, the Mando fighter thing. Disabling Fang, that's the one.
I mean, and the other thing is he can be bounced. Can he be bounced?
No, he's a leader unit. Well,
He's a leader.
Yeah. No, he bamboozled is what I was thinking of. Got to remember that all these guys like Chewie and Luke are not immune to bamboozle as well.
Yeah, so we'll leave him as there. Next, let's go with Poe. Action for 1. Flip this leader and attach him as an upgrade to a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it. Important without a pilot. He's a 2/1 upgrade. But he can be attached as much as you want because he's... And also, can you read his flip, TV?
Yeah, so you're using that action instead of his... in contrast with his epic action. But on his flip, he is a 4/6 on the ground, vanilla. But as a pilot, he is a 2/1 with an action, just 1 cost, so he doesn't have to exhaust anything. Attach this upgrade to a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it. Use this ability only once per round.
And you can kind of keep bouncing that around as much as you want.
Well, that's it. I mean,
if
you've got some units on the, 2 units on the board, you can pay this action ability, move him from the leader onto something, hit with it, and then pay the 1, move him to the next unit, and hit with it again. It's not awful.
Not awful at all. I'm ready.
Ready. Oh,
what do you get to? A plus, A minus, A. Okay, lovely. I think our only discussion here is he better or worse than Von Reg?
Worse. Because you're having to play under curve. Yes, you're getting the extra damage, but you're not developing your board.
It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be really aggressive.
Yeah.
It's going to be aggressive, but...
A lot of low range, 2 and 3 cost red units.
Look, it could be a swarm deck. It's probably a swarm deck of some description.
I think from a meta perspective, though, in like that red heroic, why aren't you playing Sabine?
100. But I
don't want to sound like you, Clint, but you are right, especially when we're looking at.
He's going to be great in drafts.
It's going to be amazing.
You know what card I like with Poe is that Bounty Hunter's Quarry, because if you're just loading up your deck with 3 cost or less fighters,
yeah.
And you can just kind of ramp out a little bit by digging into your deck for extra fighters, that could be pretty good because you're not losing on the curve because you're actually playing above curve then if you can trade efficiently with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think this is a useful strategy, but like imagine you got some of these longer games in a green deck where you've got like you play a U-wing reinforcement and you've got like a bunch of low cost ones, and then the next turn when you're actually attacking with them, you just bounce him from 1 to 1. Sure, it's probably going to die in most meta decks. Like you're never going to get a chance to play it off, but it's a cool combo to think that he can just jump between a bunch of different vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is going to have the Sabine strategy where you're going to swarm in space. Well, I mean, not Sabine strategy. It's going to have the Sabine endgame strategy with ECL, Poe, and Wrecker. And then your early game is just flooding the space with a whole bunch of little units, little fighters, bouncing Poe around, hitting base, and then finishing the game with Wrecker.
Thinking about other red-white units, it's not ground vehicles. I can only think of the Guerrilla Attack Pod off the top of my head. It's not heaps.
Yeah, I don't think you'd play that.
No, not at 6.
You're thinking heroic
anyway.
or
It's just as a side point. I wonder if Wrecker will actually get worse this set if it becomes a very space heavy
yeah, I think so.
meta.
I think so. I think it's a good call. We'll find out in a couple
Just
weeks.
just an interesting side point.
Next, we have Admiral Trench. Action, discard a card that costs 3 or more from your hand if you do draw a card. And as an action, it costs you 3. As long as you have 6 resources, you can flip this later and have him as a 4/5 unit. It's interesting because it's not an epic action, so you can technically do it as much as you want. You know, every time he dies, you can flip him again, which is very thematic because that's his thing, right? He was meant to have died in a crash, and turns out he's not dead. Love that for the designers. So he doesn't really ever die, except on his flip side, every time he deploys.
No one ever really dies.
Every time you deploy, you draw the top 4 card of your deck. You reveal the top 4 card of your deck. Your opponent discards 2. You draw 1 and discard the last one. Correct?
Yeah. So reveal the top 4 cards
so
of your
much.
deck. An opponent discards 2 of them. Draw 1 and the remaining card of the remaining cards and discard the other. Yes.
Before our vote goes through.
He has a card to show us.
I do have a card. Okay, let's have a look at this bad boy.
What crazy combo.
Invincible. That's his ship. 6/6 for 6. If you control a unique separatist card, this unit costs 1 less. When you deploy a leader, you may return a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less to its owner's hand.
And this is a legend as well?
Yeah. So obviously his thing is that he keeps discarding 3 cost stuff to draw again. So that could cost 5, obviously, because you've deployed. I mean, not necessarily, because it doesn't have to be him. It can be any of a separatist unit.
There's a lot of yellow separatist units.
A ton. And obviously, when you deploy him, then you can return a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less to its owner's hand. And you can do that a bunch of times. Again, if that survives a little bit, you kill your Trench, getting back. Now, the issue is you're losing a ton of cards every time you deploy. That's the issue. But yeah, I just wanted to show this.
Did you say Trench died and he survived?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? I don't know Trench's lore.
Yeah.
It's ironic that his ship is called Invincible then.
In Clone Wars, isn't it?
In Clone Wars, he dies. You don't see his initial death, I don't think, but they're saying it's impossible that it's Trench because he's dead. But whoever is controlling his armies has a very similar strategy because he's a really good strategist.
Right.
And he's meant. Then they kill him. He's meant to die, and then he comes back with the metal arm or whatever it is that he's got going on.
Okay. Scott, I hope you enjoy playing this card.
Yeah, he's up there. This
is Scott level card.
It's a Scott level card. Ian level card, I would say. Ian, I'm looking at you.
Ian level card.
Yeah, yellow villainy. Look, I think. Yeah.
No, you know what? Oh, it's because I'm looking at who we got next. That's why I'm like.
No way, man. I'd put him above Trench.
Okay, we'll put Trench. I'm okay with Trench being E. Somebody's gonna make it work, but it's.
Yeah, look, there are better deck builders out there than us. I mean, I'll only say for me, I'm a terrible deck builder. I do not know how to build decks.
But what a judge, though.
At all. Huh?
But what a judge you are.
Oh, oof, hello. But yeah, like, I mean, how are you avoiding? Like, I think of like cool combos like that in Invincible. You had like, sure, if you played in green, you got power ups return. So whatever they've discarded, you can play. If they discard something, if they don't discard something you want, you still have the option to discard it and then play it. Like
Unnatural Life. Is that the card
Yeah.
as well? Where you can take something back from a discard that died this turn. It costs X
Yeah.
less, and it will die at the end of the turn, but it comes in ready. There's
stuff there.
yeah.
I just can't see
You
it.
play from
And,
discard.
yeah.
And the problem is the card pool's getting so big now, it's very hard to narrow in and find kind of like a hidden gem as well.
Yeah.
Someone will do it. Next we have
Might
Rio
be interesting in
Durant.
Twin Suns with 80 card decks.
Yep. Clint, don't ask me why he's a villain. Don't know. For
Why is he villain, Tebow? Why is he a villain?
You pay 1, and you tap him, you attack with a space unit, he gets +1/+0 and gains Saboteur for this attack. Do you have his flip, TV?
Yeah, so he's a 3/5 on the ground with Saboteur.
Yeah, whatever.
As a pilot, he is a
5.
3/5. And the attached unit gains Saboteur. If it's a transport, it also gets +1/+0.
I'm adding. Yep. There we go.
Sorry.
You're fine. Yeah, there you go. That's what he fucking gets. He's awful.
Give him the D.
He's awful. The fact that you have to
Yeah.
pay 1. No, what are we doing?
It is it. The thing is, though, it's breaking in consistently
For 1, yeah.
for 1. Like, breaking in is a 2-cost event +2 Saboteur.
But this has to be on a space unit.
Yeah.
Can't be on any unit.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're building a space deck around it, and I can see that there is use. I do think it's, yeah, I agree. I think he's better than Trench,
Just.
if only mildly. But just because the ability is, I think, better.
Speaking of weird, weak space units, Admiral Ackbar. I guess he's a heroic version of Rio. Action for 1. You tap, you exhaust an only unit. Can be yours, can be your enemies. If you do, its controller creates an X-Wing token. TV flip.
So he cannot be upgraded, deployed as an upgrade. He is a 3/8. And on attack, you may exhaust a unit. If you do, its controller creates an X-Wing token.
Now, before we make our vote, I have home 1. Obviously, that's his thing. If your opponent controls 3 or more space units, this unit costs 3 less to play. It has ambush, so you could potentially play it for 6. Because obviously, his thing is that if you keep exhausting your opponent's units, you're gonna create X-Wing token for your opponent. So your opponent's gonna have more units. Maybe you can play this a little bit earlier, so it would be on 6. I feel like it's not worth it because in the meantime, you've given your opponent 3 X-Wings. Obviously, you can exhaust your own stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't feel amazing. I got this. Oh, you're generous. He's not better than Rose.
Look, I just think
You think
Yellow Heroic, there's better options. So you're never gonna pick this guy over Quinlan or Han Solo. But I don't.
anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, I know most of them, but he still does have access to those cards that make some of those decks really awesome. A consistent tap.
Is
It's
he
not the end of the world.
is he better than Rose? Tap for 1. Just be mindful. Tap for 1.
Ah, it is a 1 cost, isn't it?
So it messes up with your cover. It is an unlimited tap, but in the meantime, you're giving me.
Look, he's either the worst C or out of what we've got there so far,
Or the best D.
the best D.
God, I don't think he's got a better D than Rose, but that's just me. The issue is the more units you give to your opponents, the less your tap is valuable because the more action I get, the more action economy I have. Okay, you're gonna tap 1 of my units, but you've already given 1 from the previous turn.
But you've also got clear the field in Yellow Heroic, so you can undo what you're doing and tapping stuff. So I think you have options. I think there might be something there, which is why I gave him a C, because he does have access to some of those.
Well,
those
I
good
will be
Yellow
looking
Heroic
forward
cards.
to you building this.
I think just as a final note on that, I know it works on both sides, so you can tap your own unit to create a fighter for yourself. I still think his ability should be something along the lines of, if you tap your opponent's card, it's a TIE fighter. If you tap your own card, it's an X-Wing fighter.
I think it should be the other way around.
No, because your opponent is the enemy, so you're giving them a TIE fighter.
You're thinking thematically. I think for thematic reasons, I think you're right. I think it's the fact that it, See, I would like that if it was free.
No, just hear me out for 1 second. I think why I don't think it should be a TIE fighter for your enemy. It's more thematic, I get it, but it's double rewarding because you're already tapping. You're tapping the enemy unit, which is super valuable, and they get the worst.
Giving them a 2/2.
No, you said the TIE fighter, right?
No, I know, but what I was saying is giving them a 1/1 is better than giving them a 2/2.
Yes, but then your ability is super strong. You tap the enemy, and they only get the 1/1 out of the 2. So
but
you're never going to tap yourself.
Like it costs 1. Like if you're giving your enemy a 2/2, I feel like it should be free. And free feels too strong. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I don't think free is the right answer. But you're giving your opponent a 2/2 and
I think they've undercurved it a little bit.
It's a bit weird.
I think so. And he comes out at 6.
Anyway, he's lame. Another yellow heroic. That's all we got left now. We got Han Solo. Action: reveal the top card of your deck, then attack with a unit. If the revealed card and that unit have different odd costs, it's not just different costs; it's different odd costs. That unit gets +1/+0 for this attack. I mean, Flip is
he's a 3/7 on the ground vanilla. If he's a pilot, he's a 3/4. When deployed as an upgrade, for each friendly unit or upgrade that has an odd cost, ready a resource.
Ooh. B minus. I thought it was a plus. B minus.
Look, I mean, I think it's probably C+ to B minus.
I think there's something there, right? Like again, yellow heroic. You're not going to play him over the OG Han because the OG Han's amazing. But I mean, at the same time, also look at we're going to be where we're going to be in March. Where we're not going to have access to that Han anymore. I think he's still decent, and I think again, not a good deck builder. I think there's something in there in his ability. Like there's even the Han decks now play a lot of like 3-cost units.
I don't love his leader side ability. It's too many things that have to go right.
Yeah.
If it's even, you've bricked. If it's odd but it's the same as the one that's already there, it's bricked. So it's got to be odd. Both cards have to, and you can't do it if you have an even cost unit on the board. So does it mean you're only playing odds? Maybe, potentially, obviously. But that means there's a lot of cards, a lot of good cards that you're not playing.
All the Falcons odd cost.
Yeah.
I kind of think it should be.
All the Chewies are odd cost.
Yeah, a lot of them are like.
Falcon the Han unit is odd.
Yeah, a lot of them are there. I feel like it's also good for the information. I don't like that it's immediately a reveal, a top card of your. Deck.
And the other thing is you're going to have to play a lot of 1-cost units to fill out the bottom of your curve.
All right. Last but not least, Kazuda Xiono. For the ones that haven't watched Resistance, that's where he's from. Action: a friendly unit loses all ability for this round. Take an extra action after this one. And on deploy, he's a 2/5 vanilla on the ground, or it. No, he's got the ability.
2/5 on the ground, and on attack, choose any number of friendly units. They lose all abilities for this round. If you attach him as a pilot, he's on attack, choose any number of friendly units. They lose all abilities for this round. So the same ability, but as a 3/3 attachment.
Is he a vanilla on the ground, or has he got ability?
He's got the on attack. Choose.
He does have the on attack.
It's the on attack. Choose any number of friendly units. They lose all abilities for this round.
Choose any number of friendly units.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Watch this bad boy. 3 cost 4/4 ambush. When the regroup phase starts, defeat this unit.
Not today.
Not today, boy.
That's a good one. I didn't remember that card.
And what about, have you got his ship, the Fireball?
I don't have his ship, but I can find it in 2 seconds.
That's a 3/3. No, 2 cost 3/3 with ambush.
Is it a yellow?
In
Okay.
the regroup phase, you do a damage to it. It does a damage to itself.
Fireball, yeah.
I just have it.
2 cost 3/4 ambush when the
3/4 ambush.
3/3. Sorry. 2 cost ambush. 3/3.
Right. 2 cost 3/3 ambush when the regroup phase starts, deal 1 damage. So this one, I get the interaction. I'm a tiny bit less hyped because with you're gonna take some damage with the ambush, potentially. Obviously, you gotta tap him straight away. Even if you don't ambush, though, he's great, but he's gonna be a nightmare for the A-wings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, A-wings gonna be replaced by the other one, the 3/2, the new one, for sure. Because he will trade against that. Not the A-wing. Maybe. Ready?
Yep. But done. Never in doubt.
Sliver snake.
Look, I mean, when we first saw this card, I was a bit confused, and I think I was like, how good is this ability really? Like, you're wanting to kill all your abilities. I didn't really think about negative effects. Like, you know, the first one, you can now play this. You can now play Falcon, like Spark Falcon, without the negative effect.
Yeah. Oh, excited.
Without having to pay the Falcon tax.
I'm building the Falcon.
You know, there's been some clarification on playing him with Heroic Sacrifice and Trench Run, even though I haven't quite figured out the Trench Run interaction yet, because it's different depending if he's attached as a pilot or if he's on the ground or something like that.
Makes sense.
There's a different interaction around it, which I haven't super dug deep into the ruling on that. But with Heroic Sacrifice, you can basically Heroic Sacrifice him, do the 2, draw a card, and he doesn't die.
Yeah. No, I'm very interested. I think it's gonna be
huge.
He's massive.
Bounties, man.
Yeah, you kill the
bounties.
Your opponent is going to put bounties on you. Cool. Tap it. Doesn't have that ability anymore.
And it allows you to play also those overstated units that have bounties. You're thinking of that 3/3 Wookiee, right? The fugitive Wookiees, the 3/3 for 2 or whatever he is.
The bounty one. Yep.
Yeah.
And look,
so
I think we've all played Scott enough to know him putting annoying top targets on our shit and then healing for 6. Entrenched.
Just everything Scott does is annoying.
Did you just make my unit a 3/3? Cool. Now
we're talking about Scott's top target. I would like to talk about Rhett and CJ's green bounties. Bounty on your head.
Bounty Hunter's Quarry.
Bounty Hunter's Quarry.
Death Mark. CJ, you can,
That's for you
take
guys.
the Death Mark
Suck
and
it.
shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
I think it was with the last thing we were in Canberra for at SWOCon, and I'm pretty sure on one unit of mine he played 2 Death Marks.
I'm actually
away.
I'm gonna build that for when we go to Onyx Canberra in May.
Yeah.
I'm building this just for these suckers.
Kaz is definitely on my immediate build list because I feel like it's going to be one of those high skill cap decks that I think I want to get reps in on immediately.
Man, there's so many. I want to build him. I want to build Thrawn. I really want to build Von Reg. Piett's gonna be good, but I don't. He's not the one that draws me first. But
not over Thrawn, I think, for me as well.
No.
I think Thrawn. If I'm going to pick between
I think
the
the
two,
gameplay is gonna be more interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at Thrawn going, ooh, like playing the red Dooku unit in that Thrawn red deck, where you're like exploiting 2 units, dealing the damage out, and then most of the time it's two different when defeateds, and I'm playing one of them twice, like 3 when defeated abilities off it. Oh, give me more, tasty.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be building Kaz. I'm going to be building Von Reg.
No, I try Poe.
That excites me. I don't even.
I might try Poe, but then now how many red green decks am I going to have then?
Just replace it. You just
all of them.
Replace Sabine in the base. Like you literally.
I've never been a fan.
I can't replace Bay.
I've never been a fan of Cunning, but Kaz is doing it for me.
Yeah, boy. That's. I think that's pretty good for today, guys. We have a nice tier list. Obviously, like we said, if you disagree with us, and you should, in the comments, please let us know. We got it wrong, for sure. There are some people some leaders that are in the wrong place. But we'll live with it, and I'm really looking forward to this set coming out, and looking forward to doing more of those. Maybe we'll do a little live stream or something like that in a couple of months. Maybe after our 1K, once we've seen what performs well, I think that might be a good time to do like a little bit of an update on this list. But thanks for coming, gentlemen. That was nice. Had a good time.
It's good.
Let's do that again.
Always
sometime.
a pleasure.
Always.
And speaking of always, remember, good soldiers always follow orders. We'll see you guys next time. I was on gameplay or a podcast. I'm not sure what we got.
I have you now.
Clint and TV have found the Discord emotes, and they've been blowing up my ears for the last before we started. It lasted for 10 minutes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have a good evening, gentlemen.
Take the
and
ball.
We'll see you guys the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.